What happened? I picked up Mortal Kombat 11 day one. I was excited. The community seemed to be excited. Yet, since its release, all I see is YouTube videos, tweets, Reddit posts, displeased with the game. Which honestly threw me off guard because I had an absolute blast with the game. So today I'm here to talk about my experiences and thoughts on the game, and then we'll get into the microtransactions, the politics, review bombing, and lack of boobies. What the hell am I doing? Okay, I never really mentioned graphics and alike because, well, they aren't something that usually makes or breaks a game. But, wow. Mortal Kombat 11 is just so crispy. It really was a moment where I remembered thinking in Mortal Kombat 10, how do they improve on these graphics? But they did it. Seriously, the game looks incredible and runs very smoothly, which I'll take frame rate over graphics any day, so having them both just makes me feel good. Now, before I talk the gameplay, I do feel the need to mention now, before we really get going, I've only really played Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and now 11. I dabbled with the series before this with some games on the PS2, but yeah, I was just a bit young for the original games. So if you were wondering about my experience with the series, well there, now you know. But Mortal Kombat 11 is very close to being my favourite one. Like, this close. It's just a lot of fun. I think this is obvious because this video took me far longer to get done due to, well, just not being able to stop myself from playing. I think it's no surprise that yes, NetherRealm did it again, a story mode that's worth a damn as to be expected. It continues from the event in Mortal Kombat 10 and revolves around Kronika, the Keeper of Time, and Mother of Shinnok, who isn't looking so great after what happened in 10, and because Raiden has gone a little mad with power, well, Kronika isn't happy with this timeline, so she tampers with it, giving us character doppelgangers and bringing some favourites back from the dead. That's really the gist of the story, and yes, silly fights are still in the story. Like Cassie Cage getting a promotion, but she needs to beat up her mum to get it. Yeah, the story has to revolve around fighting, obviously, but sometimes they do feel a bit stupid. But the story is really so strong because of Mortal Kombat's characters. Like seeing Scorpion and Sub-Zero doing missions and helping each other out is really awesome. Johnny Cage with his younger self just makes for some great moments, past Liu Kang and Kung Lao being so confused as to why their present selves are helping Kronika, and creating that doubt and friction between themselves and Raiden. All these moments that really invested me and made me just sit down and want to see it through in one go. However, I will say it is a bit easy, only taking me around 4 hours to beat on medium, which is what I've played all the story modes on and always found challenges to be had. But here it was really a breeze to get through until the final boss, where they take a step back from 10 and go for a more Shao Kahn, cheap tactics to win sort of strategy to beat her. But really that would be my only nitpicks with the story mode. Now, as much as I did really love the story, clearly the video didn't take so long to make because I was just playing the story. Really, the bulk of my time I've been playing through the classic towers and Tower of Time towers, which once I had done that for a while, going to the Krypt to unlock new skins, new fatalities, new brutalities, new intros for characters, concept art, consumables, and this loop I found myself stuck in, I just genuinely had a good time. I loved picking up and playing new characters, completing the towers to see what they would have done with the Sands of Time, learning their combos, fatalities, brutalities, customizing their special abilities. Yes, variations carried over from Mortal Kombat 10. I do wish they went back to one character having all their combos available, but I guess variations is just the direction they're taking the series. and getting rewards from playing the towers to then go into the crypt, which while also having costumes, fatalities, brutalities, etc., also is quite big and has puzzles related to items you can find like Shao Kahn's hammer or Kenshi's blindfold. This made me not just want to go into the crypt to open up some chests, but really to see where this was all going. Where do all these paths I'm unlocking take me? Even going back to areas you've already been with new items and unlocking a new puzzle or a group of chests. I really put a lot of time here because it's not just opening chests and leaving. I liked having things to find and ways to expand the crypt. Again, keeping me grinding but still enjoying myself. Now yes, gone are the ways of looking up a guide to find where the good stuff is in the crypt. Because at least in the basic chests you get with coins, these rewards could be anything. Someone could open a chest and get concept art, but you open that same chest and get a fatality or a skin. Now, where I did look up a guide previously in the other games I've played, here I really liked it being a mystery. All the same rewards are in the crypt, just in different spots, and I was okay with this because I thought the crypt itself was a lot of fun to be in. But look, the game isn't perfect. I mean, I found Cetrion and Geras to be quite boring for new characters. Personal opinion, obviously. Also, I would have liked to have seen stage fatalities, babalities, even friendships make a return. I think it just makes the game a bit more fun when you have more to think about when finishing a fight. And I really think some of the stages really would benefit from stage fatalities, like the Cyberlink Way assembly stage. Would be badass if I could end the fight by kicking them into the assembly line or something. Really, these are nitpicks, but I do have an actual issue with the game, and it's the Towers of Time. All these modifiers are just a bit too much. I mean, this one where the enemy can summon Kotal basically every couple of seconds was just some bullshit. Not impossible, but just the balance seems really off. I know they are tweaking this aspect of the game, but right now, these modifiers should be a way to give these towers a good bit of challenge and strategy with your own consumables, but instead can feel like the modifiers regenerate too quickly, causing the AI to use them too often and making the fight more tedious than anything. Look, if you couldn't tell, I mean it's in the title of the video, I think Mortal Kombat 11 is a great game. So what is going on to make the Metacritic user score for this game a 2.6? For reference, that is 0.1 higher than Fallout 76's user score, and I don't even want to bring up Anthem's user score in comparison. I mean, the game's dead in the water. So let's finally talk about what exactly everyone is so up in arms about.
All I wanted was to fix my life. Now I have the power to fix history. Raiden warns me, I can't fix everything.
Okay, let me start off with the two talking points that really are just non-issues. One being, apparently Mortal Kombat 11 is forcing in politics, like Shao Kahn's "Make Outworld Great Again" quote, and Jax's tower ending, where he uses the ability to go back in time to free the slaves earlier. The second being, and I can't believe this is even a talking point, where the boobies at. To both of these, I honestly just say, who cares? Look, I like me some boobs, but I don't play games to look at titties. Otherwise, how else am I gonna get my money's worth for Pornhub Premium? And as for politics, it didn't bother me. I didn't really feel a political message being forced upon me. Again, like, why are these talking points? Now, where the conversation gets interesting is when we're talking about the system and situation with the game's microtransactions. Look, if you know me, you know, I just am not big on microtransactions. Free to play? Absolutely. I get it. Don't be shitty about it, but I get it. But AAA games having these systems is just a tougher pill to swallow for me. And I won't lie, when I first loaded up MK11 and saw all these different types of currencies, it did look like a bit of a mobile game system. But once I started playing, realizing that these are all just earned in-game, with the exception of time crystals being able to be purchased as well as earned in-game, and then realizing that these crystals are used to buy costumes that rotate every 8 hours, but can also just be earned through the Krypt and Towers of Time. Look, do I think the grind is perfect in terms of rewards for playing? Not really. It really can be a grind to rack up coins, souls, hearts, to open chests in the Krypt. And as I stated before, the Towers of Time does need a bit of balancing. And yes, it can really seem like the grind is so much at times, maybe to encourage you to just buy some crystals to get an easy costume. I also think in the current gaming landscape with so many shady microtransaction fuck-ups, that we as gamers do have a reason to be skeptical on developers and publishers' motivations in regards to microtransactions. Especially when games are coming out, getting their good reviews and adding microtransactions later. So I really do understand this debate around the game's microtransactions. When the game does have a grind for rewards, but also has microtransactions. Look at Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A really enjoyable game that does have a bit of a grind and the ability to buy XP boosters. I mean, you can't blame people for saying you made the grind to encourage extra money being spent on your game. But I really do think it was not NetherRealm's intention to have it be this way. As I said, any money spent on these microtransactions are for items you can get in the game. It's just the rate you acquire currency in game that if was just a bit better, probably wouldn't be such an issue surrounding the microtransactions. Then again, if there were no microtransactions, well, it wouldn't be an issue at all. This leads me on to review bombing, which really is just such a big topic. I could make a whole video on it, but I think the conversation around review bombing with Mortal Kombat 11 just has to be, do we want user scores taken seriously? Because without a doubt in my mind, Mortal Kombat 11 is a better game than Fallout 76 and Anthem. Without a doubt. Those games were flat out broken at release. I'm all for voicing displeasure. I get that not everyone thinks the same way I do. Some people won't like MK11. But how can you say this game is a 0 or 1 out of 10? Like, yes, you may not like the grind, or the microtransactions, game not having a certain character, or online only features, but a 0? Have you only played the most amazing games ever? Because I don't even think Umbrella Corps is a 0 out of 10, and that has to be the worst game I've ever played. It's just starting to feel like, instead of review bombing, being a way to really stand up against big fuck-ups, like the Star Wars Battlefront debacle, or Fallout 76 being a flat-out lie, it's now just becoming a bit of a joke. A way to just complain and hate on something. I mean, look at how poorly that Reddit post aged, that so many just took at its word. I mean, just do a little research. Or heck, actually play the game before believing everything you read. It really isn't that hard. Alright, I think I've been going on long enough now. Honestly, I've had a blast with Mortal Kombat 11. Even just working on this video, I want to stop and pick it up. I really just feel like there's a bit of misinformation floating around about the game. So, why not give you guys a review, and maybe a little bit of clarity around this whole situation. Whilst Mortal Kombat 11 isn't perfect, it is definitely worth your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really have been wanting to make this video for a while now, and the longer I waited, the juicier this whole situation got. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave the video a like, comment below your thoughts on MK11 if you've played it, subscribe if you're new. I do videos on the regular. I also have an Instagram and Twitter for gaming pickups and thoughts on games as I play them, so go and leave me a follow, both at MayorHairBear. But without making this video any longer than it needs to be, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.